back to my YouTube channel. Are you preparing for your first, second, or third classroom observation for this school year? If you are a beginning teacher and new to the system pero gusto mo nang magkaroon ng higher chances for you to have that perfect score in CO, this video is made perfect for you. I am Teacher Larissa, and in this episode, I will share with you the material that I used last year which almost gave me that perfect score in my CO, plus the only missing factor for me to have that perfect 7. Are you ready to start? Let's start with my detailed lesson plan. So as you can see, ito yung lesson plan na meron kami sa school namin before. Sa uppermost portion ng aming lesson plan, meron kaming grade level, school, learning area, quarter, date, and week number. So, hindi lahat ng lesson plan na meron tayo sa Pilipinas ay nagpa-follow ng ganitong format. But usually, ito yung nakikita natin sa uppermost part ng ating lesson plan para alam ng school head natin kung ano yung grade level na kanyang in-observe, ano yung focus ng learning area na yon, anong quarter na yung topic na yon, anong date particularly, and week number. Yung most essential learning competencies ay naglalast for a week or two. Ito pa rin yung ginamit ko na format doon sa aking classroom observation. Okay, but again, hindi lahat ng lesson plan na meron tayo sa Pilipinas ganito yung format. So, pwede nyo tong i-modify. Say for example, yung week, pwede nyo siyang gawing day, or pwede nyo ilagay dyan time. Say for example, kung Monday nyo siya i-deliver and 8 o'clock to 8:55 or 8 o'clock to 8:45, depende po sa inyo kung ano po yung ilalagay nyo on this portion of your lesson plan. Next is objectives. So, dun po sa aking unang video about the detailed lesson plan, diniscuss ko yung kahalagahan or essence ng objectives. But for those na hindi nakapanood po ng first video ko about detailed lesson plan na ginamit ko sa classroom observation, ang objectives, ang pinaka-goal po nito, kaya ito nilalagay sa lesson plan natin, is for us to know what is our goal for that specific lesson. So, itong content standards, performance standards, makikita po natin ito sa teacher's guide na ibinibigay po sa atin ng Department of Education. Para doon po sa mga beginning teachers na hindi alam kung saan kukunin yung content standards, nakalagay po ito doon po sa ating teacher's guide. Okay? So, in my topic, which is about investigating the properties of light, this is my content standards. So, the learners demonstrate an understanding of how light, heat, and sound travel using various objects. Parang siya yung pinaka-main goal na dapat ay makita ko doon sa mga learners ko. And then, yung performance standards naman, ito yung mga dapat na magawa ng estudyante in order for me to assess, nagkaroon sila ng grasp or understanding doon sa concept na ituturo ko. So, in this particular lesson, the learner should be able to demonstrate conceptual understanding of properties or characteristics of light, heat, and sound. So, kailangan po ba na ang content standards at performance standards ay nakalagay po sa ating PowerPoint presentation? Not necessarily, but kung mailalagay po natin ito sa ating PowerPoint presentation, much better. Kasi makikita agad ng mga estudyante kung ano yung matututunan ko for this specific day at kung ano yung dapat kong ma-achieve as a student. Okay, so let's move forward with letter C, or the most essential learning competencies or the objectives na meron tayo for that specific lesson. So, in my case, itong objectives, ito po yung teacher made. Okay, so this is the part na tayo po yung nag-iisip as teachers, ano ba yung specific objectives na gusto kong ma-attain at the end of the lesson. So, yung ating objectives, dapat siya ay may tatlong domain: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Cognitive, of course, doon po tayo sa understanding na matututunan ng bata. Psychomotor, yung skills na matututunan or mahahasa ng bata while learning the lesson. And then lastly is yung affective domain, wherein ina-inculcate natin yung values. Like, ina-appreciate natin kung ano ba yung essence or kahalagahan ng pagkatuto ng particular lesson na ito sa atin bilang mga learner. So in my case, these are the three objectives that I created out of the content standards and the performance standards that were given doon sa ating teacher's guide. Number one is for the learners to be able to investigate the properties and characteristics of light. Number two is for them to infer that white light has different colors. And number three is for them to appreciate the wonders of nature through drawing. So, yung integration part, pwede po natin ilagay dito, which is, in my case, nagkaroon ako ng integration sa English subjects because most of the time, ay nagkakaroon muna ako ng unlocking of difficulties, especially dun sa vocabulary words, scientific terms that are not familiar with my students. So, ina-unlock namin yan before kami mag-proceed sa lesson. Reading a short story, which is part of English curriculum, pero pwede din namin ma-practice sa science. So, yan ay integration. Arts, dinagdag ko yung arts because ang aming lesson for that day is investigating the properties of light. Matatouch namin yung different colors of rainbow. And yung different colors ng rainbow na yon ay makikita natin sa color wheel. So, somehow, this lesson in science is related to this particular topic in arts, which is an example of integration. Next is sa numeracy. So, merong certain portion ng aking lesson na okay, at the specific angle, ma-observe natin kung bakit nagdi-disperse yung light. So, integrated din yung mathematics in this lesson. So, ESP, Appreciating God's Creation, which is yung pag-appreciate ng mga bata ng rainbow as a natural phenomenon that happens in the world. Okay. So, as you can see, meron tayo ditong code, which is S4FE, and then Roman numeral 3H and dash 5. Okay, so in my first video, in-explain ko anong ibig sabihin nito. S is for science, 4 is for grade 4, FE is for the specific unit, which is force and motion. Because yung ating pong science 4 is divided into different units, which are matter, living things and non-living things, force and motion, and earth and space. So, as you can see, itong code natin na ito, nagbabago siya depende kung ano po yung unit na tinatakal natin sa science. Okay, so moving forward, let's discuss content. So, this part, isulat lang po natin kung ano yung ating specific lesson for that day. And for me, that is investigating the properties of light. And that is the content. For the third part of the lesson plan, we do have the learning resources, which is divided into the references and the other learning resources part. And then lastly, we have other learning resources, which include the video clip. If meron kayong video clip na taken from YouTube, self-made video lesson, kung meron kayong self-made video lesson just like me, because having self-made video lesson will add to the criteria of localized instruction. PowerPoint, pictures, and then Realia. Okay, next part of my detailed lesson plan is the procedure part. So, sa procedure part, dito natin ilalagay kung anong type ng detailed lesson plan yung ginamit natin. So, in my case, in science, we use 7 E's. So, what are the 7 E's in science? It includes elicit, engage, explore, explain, elaborate, extend, and evaluate. So, sa elicit part, nakikita po natin, this is the review part of our lesson. Elicit, sometimes, ito po ay nagte-take lang ng 5 minutes of your time. So, the ideal time for elicit is 3 minutes and the maximum time for it is until 5 minutes only. So, in my case, the teacher will show pictures with jumbled letters on the board. The learners will be tasked to arrange it for a minute. She will demonstrate the memory gesture she taught to remember the meaning of reflection and refraction. So, on this part, meron akong dalawang klase ng review na ipinakita sa mga estudyante ko. The first one is by using pictures and jumbled letters in the form of game. Ang gamification ay isang strategy na pwede natin gamitin sa loob ng classroom para mas maging interactive yung ating lesson. Okay? But then, although gamified yung ating lesson or activity, dapat ay may time limit din siya para hindi natin makonsume yung time doon sa review part. Because, again, ang review part ay kumakain lamang po ng 3 to 5 minutes ideally sa isang demonstration teaching. Nagdagdag lang ako dito ng demonstration of memory gesture since ginagawa ko talaga siya doon sa previous lesson nung tinuro ko yung reflection and refraction. Reflection and refraction, parehas sila na three-syllabicated word. So, ang ginamit ko dito ay clap. So, reflection, bouncing back. So, sabi ko sa kanila, every time na sinasabi nila na reflection, bouncing back. So, ibig sabihin, pag nagre-reflect yung material, nagba-bounce back siya. So, same syllable, same din yung definition na binigay ko sa kanila para mas matandaan nila na mas mabilis yung reflection. So, whereas yung refraction, bending off. So, ang tinuro ko sa kanila sa refraction naman ay bending off. Kasi in refraction, nagbe-bend yung light. Okay? So, pwede nyo siyang ituro sa mga estudyante nyo. Kaya dinagdag ko din siya dito sa in-explain ko sa inyo. Kasi it could be part of your daily routine na i-incorporate yung vocabulary words at i-practice din ito sa inyong mga estudyante para mas maintindihan at mas matandaan po ng mga bata kung ano yung lesson na tinuturo natin for that specific day. Next is engage commonly. Ito yung tinatawag natin na motivation. Paano natin i-establish yung purpose ng lesson natin for that day? So, pinakita ko sa kanila yung picture ng rainbow. So, ask tayo ng lower order thinking skills questions or lots questions. Dapat sinisimulan natin yung lesson natin with lots bago tayo mag-ask ng question na HOTS question. So, yung question dito, pwedeng tanungin natin sila, have you seen a rainbow before? Do you know what is a rainbow? What is your feeling when you are seeing a rainbow? And so on. So, pinagpakita ko sa kanila ng picture ng rainbow at sabi ko sa kanila, kailan nila usually nakikita yung rainbow? Do you know how it is formed? So, dun sa pag-build up natin ng question and engage, dapat dito makukuha natin yung attention ng mga bata na magli-lead sa kanila doon sa lesson natin for that specific day. And then, dahil sila ay nagkaroon na ng engagement, kung ano yung matututunan namin for that day, saka tayo magpo-proceed doon sa presentation ng example. So, dahil tinanong ko sa kanila paano na-form yung rainbow, so dito ko pinasok yung integration of English. Ito pong story na to ay nakuha ko po sa science textbook na makikita din po natin sa teacher's guide, which is magkakaroon tayo ng reading of the story, which is the story of the rainbow. So, makikita niyo po ito doon sa aking slide or dun sa PowerPoint presentation na ipapakita ko sa inyo later on. So, this is the story of the rainbow. On this part, ang ginawa ko ay nag-storytelling ako. Pero po, depende sa inyo kung paano nyo i-deliver tong part na ito or ipe-present tong part na to ng lesson. Kasi pwede siyang by group. Like, first group, kayo yung magbabasa ng first paragraph. Second group, kayo yung second paragraph. Third group, fourth group, and so on. But on my case, gumamit po ako ng self-made video lesson wherein I pre-recorded the story of the rainbow. Kasi gusto ko na itong part na to ay hindi siya kumain or mag-consume ng malaking time doon sa demonstration teaching ko. Because kailangan yung ating lesson ay smart pa rin. So again, this story is an Indian legend taken from our very own science textbook. Okay, so dito papasok na kami sa discussing of new concepts. So since that is a legend, and legend pinag-aralan din ito sa ESP. So on this part, hindi lang English yung na-integrate, pero nagkaroon din tayo dito ng integration sa ESP because meron din kaming topic sa ESP in quarter 3, which is week 1, na tungkol sa pagpapakita ng kawilihan sa kulturang material at immaterial. And shortly, pwede nating sabihin sa mga estudyante natin, ano nga ba ang legend in terms of kulturang material at immaterial? So, nagkakaroon tayo ng integration ng subject. Pero again, hindi natin yung i-highlight doon sa ating lesson. So, i-relate lang natin siya para magkaroon tayo ng integration. So, since meron na silang idea kung paano nabuo ang rainbow, but that is not science because that is a legend. So, ngayon papasok tayo sa discussing new concepts and practicing new skills in science, which is the exploratory part. So, scientifically, tinanong ko sila, do you know how rainbow is formed? So the teacher will tell the learners that the colors of the rainbow and all the other colors that we see around us are the colors that come from the light of the sun. And they will wonder, paano nanggaling dun sa light of the sun yung colors of the rainbow kung yung light of the sun is a white light? So dito papasok yung group activities sa exploration of new skills wherein I will group them or I divided them into 3 groups. Okay? So, dito, 3 groups lang yung aking nagawa. This is the weakness of my lesson when I did my lesson demonstration because mas maganda na until 5 yung group activity. But then, dahil nga limited yung resources ko that time, hanggang 3 groupings lang yung nagawa ko. Pero, technically, these 3 groups are okay because konti lang yung group of students ko that time. So, since pinapractice natin yung differentiated instruction, pwede pa kayong mag-add dito ng group 4 and group 5. Group 4, these students, pwedeng sila yung gumawa ng poem, and then group 5, pwedeng silang maggawa ng jingle rhyme that has something to do with the rainbow itself. Pero in group 1, group 2, group 3, they were able to explore paano nabubuo yung rainbows from white light. So, this is a very challenging lesson. Why? Because we need sunlight or white light itself. Binigyan ko sila ng iba't ibang set of materials. In differentiated activities, dapat magkakaiba yung ginagawa ng iba't ibang group pero isa lang yung goal nyo na nakafocus pa rin sa objectives ng lesson nyo. Okay, so the first group, this group will be given a CD on a plate and a small candle on the center. This group will observe what will happen on the light as it struck the surface of the CD. They will note their observation on a sheet of manila paper. Group 2, draw your rainbow. This group will be given a manila paper and they will be tasked to draw a rainbow and label its colors. Group 3, glass of colors. This group will be given a glass with water, a clean sheet of white paper, and a flashlight. If the area is not sunny, they will project the sunlight to the glass of water and will observe the light that passed through the clean sheet of paper. And kung meron kayo na prism, pwede nyo siyang ipagamit dun sa mga estudyante nyo para makita nila yung pag-scatter ng light kapag tumama yung white light dun sa prism. Before you proceed on the group activity, make sure na ma-discuss nyo sa kanila, sa mga estudyante, yung rubrics for group activity kasi mainly, observers, ito yung kanilang tinitignan because sabi ng school head ko, rubrics are very essential so that the students will know how they will be rated. So, since sa lesson plan ko, talagang naglalagay ako ng rubrics para at least yung mga estudyante mo, alam nga naman nila ano yung dapat nilang i-observe while they are doing the group activity. It is also important for you to discuss rubrics before doing the group activity. So in my case, I just told them that these are the rubrics: cleanliness and orderliness 20%, demonstration of activities 30%, presentation-wise 20%, content and clarity 20%, and punctuality 10% because there is a timer readily available on the screen that for 5 minutes, dapat matapos nila yung task na binigay ko sa kanila and they were able to answer the questions that are given to them by group. Explain. So each group will discuss about the result of their activity and I will be asking them follow-up questions on the task given to each group. So these are the sample questions that I have. What happened to the white light when it struck the glass of water or the surface of the CD? So the question is depending on the type of activity that is given to the students. How many colors are there in a rainbow? What colors consist the rainbow? And then finding practical applications of concepts and skills in daily living. So this comes the elaboration part. So on this part, I will explain to them how the rainbows are formed. Dito ko pinakita sa kanila yung video that I've taken from YouTube to further discuss or illustrate how the rainbows are formed scientifically. So in this part as well, dito ko pinasok yung numeracy, which is the angle part. So, pinost ko yung certain portion of the video wherein nagkaroon ng angle, and then I asked the student what kind of angle is that. Is this an acute angle, an obtuse angle, or a right angle? And again, that is a part of integration wherein the students were able to identify what kind of angle is that. And yung angle pala ay may kinalaman din in the formation of rainbow. Letter M is making generalizations and abstractions about the lesson. Part pa rin ng elaboration. So for additional learning, the teacher will tell the learners that the spreading of white light into full spectrum of wavelengths is called dispersion. So dito na namin i-generalize na yung aming na-observe for that day is a scientific phenomenon tinatawag namin na dispersion. So, dispersion, ma-add na naman ito doon sa scientific vocabulary namin, which is, yung una is reflection, to be followed by refraction, and then now we do have dispersion. So, through the use of the Newton's disk, ang ginawa ko dito pumasok yung realia na sinabi ko sa inyo before. So, nag-prepare ako ng color wheel na inattach ko sa LEC ng electric fan. So, depende po sa inyo paano nyo mapapakita or madedemonstrate yung sarili nyong realia ng Newton's disk. But then, the idea of that is yung color wheel, kapag in-spin mo siya ng mabilis, yung different colors of the color wheel, magdi-disappear siya because of the motion. To end, she will ask the pupils, what can you say about white light? In this part of my lesson, talagang nakita nung school head ko, na-amaze yung mga bata nung pinaikot ko na yung Newton's disk kasi yung color wheel naging parang white color siya nung mabilis na yung ikot nung wheel. And then, dahil tapos na yung elaboration part, tinanong ko yung mga bata kung may questions ba sila. And then, dahil wala na, I proceeded to the evaluation of learning, which is a 5-item quiz. Ilang percent ng mga learners natin ang natuto doon sa ating lesson. So, kapag may additional time pa, papasok yung ating extension wherein additional activities for application or remediation is given. This could be in the form of homework or pwede din siyang additional activities in terms of writing a journal. Kung may extra time pa, pwedeng gamitin si teacher during the demonstration. So, on this part, dahil sakto naman yung time namin, binigay ko na lang to sa kanila as part of their homework. So, if there is an extra time, the teacher will ask the learners to draw a rainbow on a sheet of plain paper. The learners will also write at least 2 sentences on how they feel about it whenever they see one. So, dito papasok yung third objective natin for the day. Reflection, number of learners who earned 80% in the evaluation. Number of learners who require additional activities for remediation. And then at the end, prepared by, and then the name of your school head at the bottom.
If you like this video, do not forget to hit like and subscribe sa ating channel at i-ring mo na rin ang iyong notification bell para manatili kang updated sa ating susunod na videos. You can also follow me on my different social media accounts